A tense chain of events unfolded across the Middle East in just a matter of hours, raising fresh concerns about the direction of the regional conflict. According to official statements and publicly available reports, a reported ballistic missile attack was followed by a coordinated military response involving the United States and Saudi Arabia, marking one of the most significant developments in recent days. The sequence began when the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps reportedly launched multiple ballistic missiles toward U.S. forces stationed in the Middle East. Videos shared online appeared to show interceptor missiles streaking across the sky over Jordan as defensive systems engaged the incoming threats. U.S. Central Command described the launch as an attempted surprise attack. According to the command, every reported missile was intercepted before reaching its target, and no American personnel were injured. Officials also stated that U.S. forces remained at a high level of readiness throughout the incident. Reports further indicated that at least 4 ballistic missiles were directed toward American positions in Jordan. A U.S. official described the attack as significant, underscoring the seriousness of the situation despite the reported success of the defensive response. Shortly before the missile launches, Iranian negotiator Mohammad Morandi publicly stated that Iran was prepared for what he described as an all-out war. Iranian officials also maintained that negotiations concerning the Strait of Hormuz would not be part of any future discussions. Only a few hours later, the situation shifted dramatically. U.S. Central Command announced that American and Saudi Arabian armed forces had conducted joint precision strikes against Iran-aligned militant targets in eastern Iraq. According to the official statement, the operation targeted logistics facilities and weapon sites belonging to groups that the IRGC had directed to attack U.S. forces and Saudi infrastructure. Officials described the operation as a response to more than 30 IRGC-directed drone attacks reported during the previous 72 hours. CENTCOM added that those attacks against American forces had not been successful. The command also issued a direct warning, stating that the IRGC and the groups it directs must cease such attacks or face additional military action. Although officials did not identify the specific militia groups involved or reveal the precise strike locations, one statistic stood out. According to CENTCOM, more than 600 attempted attacks targeting American citizens and facilities had been carried out by Iran-aligned militias inside Iraq between February and April alone. Saudi Arabia also released new information regarding the broader security picture. Major General Turki al-Maliki stated that Saudi air defenses intercepted and destroyed multiple drones launched from Iraqi territory toward petroleum facilities in the kingdom's eastern province. Another detail attracting widespread attention was an image released by U.S. Central Command featuring the A-10 Thunderbolt II. The military did not confirm that the aircraft participated in the strikes. However, many observers noted the timing of the post and discussed what message it might have been intended to send. The A-10 has long been recognized for close air support missions. Its Gu-8 Avenger cannon, heavy titanium armor protecting the pilot, and ability to remain over the battlefield for extended periods have made it one of the most recognizable aircraft in the U.S. inventory. That endurance can be especially valuable during operations against dispersed targets such as logistics compounds, weapons storage sites, or mobile equipment spread across large areas. Officials have not identified every aircraft involved in the operation, but Saudi Arabia fields advanced F-15 variants among its combat fleet. Conducting coordinated missions between multiple air forces requires years of joint planning, communication, and training, particularly during nighttime operations over complex airspace. The reported strikes reflected that level of military cooperation between the United States and Saudi Arabia. Attention is also focused on Iran's broader military posture. Reports indicate that the country maintains an extensive ballistic missile infrastructure, while recent public statements continued to reject negotiations involving the Strait of Hormuz. With missile launches followed by coalition airstrikes only hours later, many analysts believe the previous pause in military activity has become increasingly fragile. At the same time, regional defense cooperation appears to be expanding. U.S. Central Command announced the creation of what it described as the first bilateral military artificial intelligence task force between the United States and the United Arab Emirates. Named Task Force Talon Synapse, the initiative will reportedly bring together specialists in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and data analysis. According to the announcement, the UAE has gained extensive experience responding to Iranian drone attacks over recent years. Officials say that operational data will help improve future drone detection and defensive capabilities. Diplomatic activity also continued in Washington. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky both held meetings at the White House. Netanyahu later described his discussions as highly productive. Reports also indicated that President Zelensky later met with executives from Lockheed Martin. According to those reports, the discussions focused on licensing arrangements for missile production rather than the direct purchase of missiles, potentially strengthening Ukraine's future defensive capabilities. Taken together, these developments illustrate how quickly the security environment can change. Missile launches, successful interceptions, coordinated coalition strikes, expanding regional partnerships, and new defense initiatives all unfolded within an exceptionally short period. Many details remain unknown, including the full impact of the strikes inside Iraq and whether additional military action will follow. For now, official statements indicate that the situation remains highly fluid, with governments across the region continuing to monitor events closely. As more verified information becomes available, attention will remain focused on whether these developments mark a temporary escalation or the beginning of a broader shift in the regional conflict.